Hey, what's up everyone? I know this is early to predict anything, and it's kind of early to make a video like this, but I wanted to make a video about this for a while because since my summer weather predictions came true, I just went off of a hunch and went off of what I felt and what I was feeling really strongly. And May, June, and July, the predictions came true. Oddly enough, I don't see those videos that I made anymore, so I don't know what happened to them, but I'm going to say my predictions for at least the state of Tennessee this in the central areas this winter. Now, as far as like I was going to state, right now I think we're going to continue a little bit of that summer weather, the 90s and things like that, and some 80s. But we might have one or so 70s and low 80s for maybe mid to late September. Maybe extending into early October, that we'll still have some mild weather, some warm weather. So I'd say during October, I'm just going by what I feel. I'm not really going by any predictions given, but I'd say, and by the way that this year matched 2011, 2012. And I've got a bad feeling for this winter, temperature-wise at times. Maybe I'm wrong, but if it's anything like 2011 and 2012, we're in for some cold times this winter. So I'd say mid-October. Probably, I'm going to say October 12th. I'm just going to go around October 12th. So, October 12th, I feel that date as maybe a plunge point as far as temperatures. Maybe some 30s, 40s on October 12th. Maybe the 18th, we'll have another kind of a cold bout, maybe around October 12th through the 18th. I guess that's 7 days. That's about a week, I guess. So, kind of some cool weather from the 12th to the 18th. Don't ask me where. I'm just feeling this in my mind, so I'm stating it. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but hey, it's worth putting it out there. And I do have a feeling, if you live in the state of Tennessee, like we do, I have a feeling that November, cold, crisp air could be likely. December, could see a snow. Could see some cool air, but I think it will be up and down. I think that maybe in November and maybe in December, maybe November 1st, maybe the first few days of November, we'll have unusually warm, possibly unusually warm weather. Maybe in the first part of November, the first few days, before the temperatures go back down to more average, more normal. But I think overall, we'll have below average temperatures. And so maybe some icy precipitation. Sleet, icy precipitation through the fall and winter times, on and off. But still also I predict rain, but when it does get cold, some possible sleet and icy conditions. Now, heading into December, maybe one or two milder, warmer days. Maybe 60s. I don't know, but maybe 60s. Maybe some mild. I feel like maybe we'll have a couple of milder days this December. But as we head into late December and probably early January and through February, I'd say expect some polar vortexes this winter. Now, I hate to say that, but I feel that some polar vortexes will pull in some Canadian air mass and some polar air masses down into the United States and do a repeat scenario of 2011 and 2012, when we had some very, very cold temperatures that plunged the majority of the United States into record cold. Anywhere in the negatives, -50, all over the United States. It was up in Boston, over in Michigan, Texas, Illinois, Indiana, New Jersey, New York, Carolinas, everywhere was experiencing, almost all 50 states even at one point that year had snow. And even the tip of Hawaii, even the top of Hawaii had snow that year. And I'm not saying every state will have snow all at once like that, but I don't necessarily see that, or feel that, but I just feel, given the El Nino and La Nina patterns that we had, and then the pattern in the tropics that happened, and just given what I'm feeling, this is just a hunch, this is what I'm feeling, I'd say that we will definitely have polar plunges this winter. And I felt that in June and July. I thought I would, and my May, June, and July predictions came true 100%. I predicted back in April, and they came true. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with this one then. But I'd say polar vortexes. It'll make the ground very cold and popping, just like that year, and there'll be a lot of crackling. You'll hear about a lot of frost quakes. They'll be talking about the phenomenon of polar vortexes and frost quakes. But there'll be a lot of polar plunges this year, pulling air from the Canadian air masses and from the polar air masses down into the United States. Probably far south as Texas and northern Florida. Northern Florida could have some freezes, just like that year that we seen. Hopefully not, but there could be some freezes down there. I guess you might escape it if you're in far western California. But as far as December, a couple of warmer, milder days. Couple, maybe two. But as far as that, it'll still be a cold and snowy and icy winter for the state of Tennessee, on and off. When it's not, it'll be raining, kind of wet, but we won't have, maybe not have a lot of snow or whatever, but we will have, I'd say, one good 6-inch snow in Tennessee. I predict maybe at least one 6-inch snow, a 1-inch snow, and some sleet situations, icy situations. Maybe not devastating, hopefully, but it will be a repeat of 2011, in my opinion. I'm just going by what I feel. These are my feelings on this, judging by I'm going on a hunch. But I'd say that, yeah, polar plunges, polar vortexes will be happening this winter, and maybe even reaching to the very top of Florida, like Tallahassee, places like that. When it does get colder, when those polar plunges happen, polar vortexes happen. And also, I would say a couple of the storms that might hit the East Coast probably will mix in with that cold air. A couple of tropical storms that hit the East Coast will probably be kind of chaotic because of hitting with that cold air. But a lot of northeastern storms, a few northeastern storms, maybe not a lot, but a few of them. But I would say, as far as Tennessee, like I've been stating, mostly was all about Tennessee. This entire video has been about the state of Tennessee and the South, the Mid-South, and the southern states, mostly Tennessee, because that's what I feel, because that's where I'm at, and that's what I feel that strongly. I'd say a couple of 62 degrees during December, a few 60s. I see one 62-degree day during December at least. I feel that 62-degree temperature in December. And at least once or twice, a couple of 60-degree days. And January and February, the bottom drops out again. Polar plunges, polar vortexes. Negatives, -8, probably -8, -15. Places up in the northwestern areas, places in the mid, I would say probably areas west of Michigan, places like Montana, Colorado, all of those places. I would say they will probably be -50 They will definitely have real feels of negative 50 and below. Wind chills being very brutal. I feel that strongly. If you live in the northwestern, if you live in the north, if you live all of those areas, if you live in Montana, if you live in Colorado, all of those areas, Montana, Michigan, those areas will definitely see temperatures well into the negatives. Negative 50, especially during these polar vortexes. I just feel that. And in Tennessee, I can't rule out negative 8, negative 15 as temperatures and wind chills. And during times this winter. It might not happen right away, because right as we head into October, I'd say as we head into October, probably October 15th or so, the temperature starts to plunge a bit, and we have 30s and 40s and things like that. And it's like, but yeah, winter will happen this year. I've felt it since May and June, April and May, and my predictions came true then. So I'm just going to go ahead and just share what I feel now, and what I feel, my mind's being possibly given. I don't know what I feel right now. I'm just sharing it. But I do feel that October, the temperatures will plunge, and maybe during the end of October, during the very first part of November, the first few days, we'll have some warmer temperatures. That'll be unseasonably warm. Maybe during the first week of November, before it plunges again and we get cold again, and a couple of 60s, like 62 in December, and plunging, mostly cold, mostly cool, mostly cold, maybe some flurries, some snow here and there. But I think January and February will be the brunt of the late December, early January, and then January and February will be the big polar vortexes and the big polar plunges. And but you can't rule them out on and off throughout the season. But I'd say definitely the polar vortexes will be happening during those months, and cold, brutal temperatures. So definitely bundle up and definitely try to stay warm, and be well aware of it ahead of time, that this winter will be a repeat of 2011, 2012, and will definitely be one for the record books. Hopefully not. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's my winter prediction. Peace. Stay safe, everyone. Signing out.